everybody. Welcome back to Random Conversations. Happy 2026. We took a little hiatus, but we're back and we're here with some new topics to discuss amongst ourselves. If you want to have a discussion on your off time, then you can do that as well. Happy to bring you the content. So it's the end of the NFL season. Well, we're nearing to the end of the NFL season, and we haven't talked about the NFL in a long time. So here we are.
Hold on a second. Time out. Huh? You introduced yourself?
Oh, shit. I forgot. They know who we are.
Okay. You know who we are. All 32 subscribers we got. Get any more subscribers? They're like, who the hell is that?
They could go back to a previous episode.
You're bugging. Well, I'm Noel for anybody who's curious.
And I'm Danielle for anybody who's curious. But we introduce ourselves every episode, so you could check the 30 episodes prior to see who's who. It's only just us two. So like I was saying, we're going to talk about the NFL because it's nearing the end of the NFL season. It's probably at the end right now. We're taping this on a Friday. So we haven't talked about the NFL in a long time. And I just want to talk about the tumultuous season that my New York Giants have faced. Right now, we're 3-13. I don't even care if we get to 4-13 on Sunday. It's just the season's done. It's done for. It was horrible. It was under expectations.
I mean, I expected it.
It was under expectations because we started off the season with Russell Wilson thinking that he was going to be our savior. He didn't even last half the season. He was out by week 3.
He didn't even think y'all was gonna he was gonna save y'all season. He figured I'm just gonna get there's another chance for a bite of the apple and get an NFL check.
Whatever. He's coming away like a fat monkey with all the money he's gotten since he's been in Denver. That man's been raking up. Mm-hmm. So anyway, we thought we had our savior, quote unquote, with Russell Wilson. Turned out that was a dud. Then we had a spark, and the spark's name was Jackson Dart. He started I think he started week 4 against the Chargers, and he won, right? So everybody's like, oh, thank God, we finally found somebody. Yeah, because the Chargers were 3-0 at the time. So we thought, like, all right, we're rolling. And week after week, it wasn't shaping up to what we thought it would be because of all the injuries that happened. He was out for like almost 5 games straight with concussions. Mm-hmm. So then we started Jameis. Didn't win with Jameis, but that was a spark as well because Jameis Winston is Jameis Winston. You gotta love Jameis. Then we're back to Dart, and it's just been a shit show this whole NFL season. They're like the circus, entertaining, but they haven't come up with any type of W's that we thought would suffice into having like a good season. If we just made it to like the wild card, I'd be so happy. But all that talent and nothing to show for it. What I don't like is
y'all probably pick a quarterback and create a freaking quarterback controversy. I thought Dart is your guy.
You know what? I don't put that past them because they're very incompetent.
Yeah, Dart is your guy. Build around Dart.
Yeah, but the media, which I'm shocked by, and it's on ESPN, it's on the NFL Network. Oh, should the Giants draft a quarterback? And I'm like, why would we draft a quarterback when we have Jackson Dart? Let us see a full season with Jackson. We don't have a full season with Jackson Dart. So what is the point of us drafting a quarterback? We don't have our top stars on the team. Cam Scadaboo is out. Malik Neighbors is out. So let's just see what he has to do with when we have a full season with him. I think we should get another star wideout. I think that's what we should get. And whoever's the top wideout in this 2026 draft, I think we should get them.
So y'all need to go ahead and stay away from the quarterbacks. So
y'all need a quarterback.
Right. I said, so y'all need to.
Yeah, why would we get a. That's the most stupidest thing I've ever heard. Why would we get a quarterback?
And let us get the quarterback that we need.
Yeah, y'all need one.
You know, y'all Giants, y'all sure as hell. I don't know. Y'all can't lose for winning. Y'all can't just get out your own way.
No.
Like you're playing the Raiders. Y'all both playing for the number 1 draft pick. Yeah. The Raiders sent Max Crosby home. They was like, don't even suit up. And I
heard he was upset about that
because he wants to play to win. Any player is going to want to play to win.
Exactly.
If you're going to play to lose, you have to at least make the players believe that you're trying to win. Scheme it up in a way that you end up falling just a little bit.
I mean, come on now. The players are not stupid. They know that they were trying to tank.
That's blatant.
But everybody in their right mind who follows football knows that if you want the number one pick, you're gonna have to tank.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have to tank, or you're gonna have to tank. You're gonna have to tank, or you're gonna have to suck. You know what I'm saying? I think the Giants were in the position they were because they sucked. Between sucking and having injuries, that's why they are where they are. The Jets just flat out sucked, and that's why I can admit that. But the Giants, they had opportunities, but injuries ultimately doomed that season. Yeah. I didn't think they were making the playoffs, but they were a lot better. I think they were going to do a lot better than, what is it, 3-13 right now?
Yeah, they're 3-13.
Yeah, they probably went like 7-9 or something like that.
Next year?
I thought this year.
Exactly.
That's what they were trending. That's what they were trending to be.
Or try to get like
take the next step.
A wild card spot at least.
No, they wasn't getting a wild card spot. Not in that NFC East.
I mean, the Dallas ain't shit.
Dallas is better.
Commanders are horrible.
The Commanders aren't horrible. They got their franchise quarterback was hurt.
Even before he got hurt, they weren't winning.
They were okay. I thought they had a chance to turn it around, but he got injured.
Because I think the NFC East, like all the teams had like the hardest schedules in the whole entire league. Yeah,
I mean, well, the Redskins went to the NFC Championship game.
The Redskins, the Commanders.
I mean, the Commanders went to the NFC Championship game, so of course they will have a tougher schedule the following season. But I never expected much out of the Giants, and to expect that they were going to be playoff contenders, I think was a stretch, especially when they were just in the lottery, and you have Russell Wilson as a gap year quarterback to kind of bring Jackson Dart along. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. I feel like the Giants, they can't mess around with this pick. If I was them, I would probably trade down, accumulate some more draft picks, and really build out that roster. But we'll see what they do. The Jets, they need to, target a quarterback. I don't know who they could get, but I have no faith.
There's another dude who's projected to be the second best quarterback in the draft. I forgot. I think it's like Dylan something, but he's projected to be the next best quarterback behind that Mendoza guy. So maybe that's your person, but then again, I don't know.
I'd rather pick
I just feel bad for Justin Fields.
I'd rather pick a skill position because we need wide receiver to go to match up, to line up alongside Garrett Wilson, and then next year we go get the quarterback because I think Arch Manning is going to be in next year's draft.
So what next week?
And I think we need to go.
So next year you're going to tank too.
Well, we gonna
that's
have
too much tanking.
We're gonna have Tyrod. I mean, shoot, as a Jets fan, half our existence has been tanking. So I mean, I think
it's how much longer can you rebuild?
I think we could handle one more year. And this is a new rebuild.
Rebuilding is y'all been rebuilding since Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, we had a new rebuild right now.
How long has Mark Sanchez been out of the Jets?
We're in the rebuilding era right now. We got rid of all of our top defense. We got rid of a lot of our top defensive talent to accumulate draft picks. We need to make those draft picks work for us, build out that roster, and then sit the quarterback, our franchise quarterback at the top. I don't think our franchise quarterback is in this draft. I think he's in next draft. But knowing the Jets, they'll probably pick a quarterback, and then you can't pick a quarterback that high and give him 1 year. So you're going to freaking ride it out with him maybe 2-3 seasons before we have to start all over again. So, I'd rather get that pick right. So if I was them, I would build the rest of the roster out. I would focus on O-line and the skill positions. And then next season, next draft, try to get the quarterback we want.
I don't know. It's just too much rebuilding for me. I can't stand rebuilding every 2 years.
I mean, it is what it is.
It's painful for a sports fan that every minute you're so incompetent that every freaking minute you got to rebuild. It's annoying. You see the Chiefs? When's the last time they rebuild anything? Because they're ran by a competent front office.
They missed the playoffs though.
This year, but they've been on top since what? Before 2020.
Sorry,
that's 6 years?
They missed the playoffs this year. Who knows?
So what?
Could be
I'm
the start
saying
of a
the
trend.
Consistency is there.
I don't know.
We haven't had that type of consistency in years. The Jets even worse, right? So it speaks a lot to the front office and who's running things, because this level of inconsistency when it comes to making choices is crazy. I want to say blasphemous, but I don't want nobody calling me Stephen A. But it's crazy. Like, how could you run a ship like that? The ownership, the both of them, the Jets and the Giants, they're horrible. But anyway, enough with losers. So we're going to talk about the playoffs, right? Like I said, we're taping this before any of the outcomes that comes from Saturdays or Sundays games. So
why are we talking about the playoffs if we don't know who's in it?
We just want to talk about who's in it right now.
We're just going to talk about the Jets and the Giants.
Listen, the prospects are not who's playing on Saturday and Sunday. They're not even forecasted to win.
We don't know the seeding. There's still teams playing to get in.
So you don't want to talk about it?
No, because we don't have a clear picture.
So no playoffs? All right. You want to talk about your Ravens or we're done with sports? No,
we're done with sports. Because I ain't going to talk about the Ravens right now.
See, Barstool is never going to pick us up because you barely want to talk about sports. But it's all right.
I mean, we can't, if we're going to talk about sports, I don't want to talk about sports half-assed. Like, I haven't been following the season like that to talk about the rest of the team.
Yeah, why haven't you been following the season like that?
Because I ain't paying for cable.
No, because your team is garbage. That's why you ain't following the season like that.
Shoot.
Your team is basura. But it's all right. You got another 50 years.
Wow.
Another 50 years. Will you be 80? You're going to be that story. This man, all he wanted to do was see his team go to the Super Bowl. You and your walker.
Let me tell you, my Jets fandom membership card got an expiration date on it.
You're gonna be in a walker with dentures talking about, I came to see my team play in the Super Bowl. I've waited 80 years for this.
My Jets fandom card got an expiration date on it. I ain't gonna I ain't riding out with them forever.
Yeah, right. You said ridiculous. That last year. You said the Ravens were your team.
If they mess up these next two drafts, I might be out.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
So they got 2 more seasons.
How long have you been a Jets fan?
My whole life.
Your whole life, and then all of a sudden, at this age, you're gonna be like, "I'm done."
Yeah, I'm done, man.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Well, I've been a Jets fan heavy since like 2000.
Yeah, that's
like
bull.
2000, yeah.
That's bull.
Mm-hmm.
So, I came across a clip of Cam Newton's podcast, Funky Friday. And his special guest was Natalie Nunn, who some of you might know. She was from the Bad Girls Club. She's like one of the famous people that branched out. And she also has a show on Zeus called Baddies. So she was having a discussion with Cam Newton. Gotta shout out Baddies. Anyway, she was having a discussion with Cam Newton, and Cam Newton asked her, what qualities does a baddie bring to a man? So right off the bat, she says, we make the money. We're the breadwinners. We're the boss bitches, right? And he asked her to dive in more apart from financials. Like, what else does she bring to the table? And she couldn't answer that question. Everything went back to money. She did say motherhood, but he was like, all right, explain more. Like, what about motherhood? And then she was like, well, I just bought my daughter. Well, we just built in our backyard close to $1 million swimming pool. She's like, Mommy, I want to swim. So she built her a $900,000 swimming pool in her backyard. So everything, I guess in her mind, everything that a baddie brings to a man in a relationship is money. And they're the boss and they run shit. She even said that there's a baddies girl on the show right now who's dating an MLB player. MLB is baseball. And yes, they do make a lot of money. I think they make more money than football and basketball players.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah. And she's saying that even though he makes the money, she's still the boss bitch. So she couldn't really articulate as to why baddies are beneficial to a man. But it came with a lot of backlash, this clip. And everybody was like, see, this is the reason why women are not taken seriously, because of statements like that. It gives women a bad rap. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying you can't take her word verbatim and encapsulate that with all women, because not all women feel like that. Other women, even baddies included, they think that they bring more to the table. They bring stability, like mental stability, emotional intelligence. They make a house a home. They bring other values than what Natalie Nunn portrayed in that clip or on the podcast. So you can't group all women. Some men will take that clip and say, oh, this is why women are not taken seriously, because they think like that. They think, oh, because they make money now, they're the breadwinners, they're the head honchos, and blah, 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 blah. So, and I agree, like, you can't take what she says seriously, because majority of women don't feel like that. There is some women that do feel like that, but majority of women don't. How do you feel about what she said in that clip?
I mean, what she said is on brand for the show that she's promoting. The baddies is just a bunch of crazy ass women fighting each other, pulling their weaves out, and freaking talking about how much money they get. Right?
Yeah.
They don't understand that, you know, boss bitches aren't really in high demand when it comes to what men want. You know, a lot of the men just want a woman that's gonna bring them peace and freaking build them a home and you know, take care of their children and stuff like that. That's what we want to hear, right? I mean, yeah, you could go to work and you can make your money, and we respect that. But, you know, it's not that high on our priority list to have a woman who's a quote unquote boss bitch, right? It's a turnoff. The way she spoke was a turnoff. And all she could do was talk about how much money
she makes and how much she pays her baddies
and whatnot. Yeah. And I'm like, you know, it seemed like, you know, the way she was talking, that she's the alpha in her relationship and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of men don't want to feel like they're the beta in their relationship. We had a conversation earlier in the week, and I was saying that, you know, some men, if
you're a beta, you're a beta.
Yeah, some men are betas, and you need to just be comfortable in your skin as what you are, you know, and just, if your relationship works that way, then that's how it works. You know, that's the dynamic. But a lot of these women, they want a man that's about something, right? You know, they want a man who's accomplished and making money. So you can't be projecting yourself as a boss bitch and all this stuff, because the men that you're trying to capture, they don't really care that, you know, you're making X, Y, and Z and all that stuff. And one other thing that she stated was that, because Cam Newton was literally trying to pull it out of her.
She couldn't explain it at all.
He's asking her, like, what qualities do baddies bring, right? And she didn't think, her first thing was money. Her second thing was money, you know? It took her a while before she came around to motherhood.
I think a lot of women start off with money because a lot of men feel that certain women don't have money, and they're looking for somebody to spend money on.
Well, certain women don't have money, and they are looking for.
I think that's probably why she started off with that, because she doesn't want baddies to be seen as gold diggers. So she probably brought that in there just to make it seem, all right, yeah, we're bad and blah, 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 but we also have money. We're not coming in this relationship using you as a crutch. Maybe that was her mindset. Yeah, because a lot of women get this it's like a stereotype, right? Like, you look good, you have all this stuff, but you want the man to provide everything for you.
Right.
Like, I'm walking into this relationship with my own money. So therefore you can't use that against me. Maybe that's what her mindset was, but the way she articulated it didn't come off as such.
Yeah, it was a major turnoff.
Yeah.
I think that, and regardless of how much money a woman makes, I said this to you, I've said this to plenty of my female friends. If you ask any of them who are well off making six figures or whatnot, and you say, you know, if you could find a man who could take care of you and pull you out the job market, you know, and would you want that? And 9 times out of 10 is yes, right? They be like, working this for the birds. Like, I don't want to work. You know what I'm saying? Initially, when you're growing up, you think independent woman, you know, I'm getting my money and whatnot. But after you in the workforce for like 10 years or whatever, you're like,
oh, this shit is good.
He's like, shit, if somebody going,
where's my sugar daddy? Where's my Dion?
Right, if somebody trying to take care of me, then why the hell, why am I standing
Where's my
in the way?
Deion Sanders?
Exactly, right? So, that whole stuff with being a boss bitch and all that stuff, I think that's just a facade. It's something that you put up because you don't have anything else you don't have any other substance to you to project out there. And it's not
fair for other women because, like, there's certain women out there that do have their own money, but they have depth. They have other things that they could present to you, you know? So the way she articulated herself wasn't that good of a look. But I understand why. Maybe I think I could get into why she did that.
I mean, there's a possibility that's why she did that. I think, some people are just all about getting money, and she's a hustler, and she's like, I'm about getting money. I mean, she runs the show, so she is a hustler. You know what I'm saying? She's a business owner and whatnot, right? But she just got to understand that there's a large subset of men that don't necessarily find that attractive. At least the way she articulated it, didn't find that attractive at all, and would probably look right past her. And
we also mentioned, like, she's an alpha female, right?
Right.
A lot of these men, majority of them, they're going to say they're alphas. So they're going to look at that and like, all right, that's not the woman for me. And I feel like two alphas in a relationship, I don't think it works.
Hey, you can't have two bosses.
You can't.
You got to have one boss and one subordinate.
Well.
See, and that's the thing. Women have problems with word like submission, right? Because they see it as a negative word, right? But submission doesn't necessarily mean that you're just going to get walked all over. It just means that, at the end of the day, you've chosen your partner to be the leader, and okay, you guys discuss whatever issue you're discussing, you kick it around, but ultimately, you're going to go with what decision he makes. Now, if you're with a real leader, they're going to take it into consideration. He'll take what you say into consideration, and then ultimately come up, most times, rather than not, he's going to come up with a decision that makes sense for the entire unit. Yeah. Right? So, like I said, it's on women to pick the right leader, right? Yeah. Not everybody is a leader.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you can't have two alphas in a situation, because you're going to continuously butt heads, and it's just going to break away. It's going to...
But no man cares. No man worth anything is worried about you being a boss bitch. I'm more concerned with what's between your ears, and like, are you intelligent? Are you respectful? Can I take you places and not feel like I'm about to be embarrassed? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
No bottles throwing.
Exactly. Can I take you around my family and be comfortable and know that I don't have to worry about you saying something reckless or anything like that, right?
Do you have etiquette? Do you have table manners?
Right.
Can you write in cursive?
Calligraphy. Nah, but like, seriously though, like that's what we look for. You being a boss bitch is not high on the freaking checklist. Yeah. So she needs to reevaluate that.
But you men do like when women come in the situation with their own money though, like with they're established.
I mean, if you have a good job, that's good. That's fine, right?
Because a lot of like men who see themselves up here, like a lot of esteemed men, they don't want somebody that they have to like fully gotta, but they want somebody that's kind of on their level too.
Well, you look at most like super accomplished men. A lot of them have women that are alongside them that aren't working. And that's because, But
I've seen a lot of men that like women who are on their level as well. Like doctors marrying doctors, lawyers marrying lawyers.
Because, we're talking about regular well-off people that are still in the workforce. And where do you find a majority of your partners and stuff like that? People find them at work or in school. So a lot of the times you're going to see situations like that. But when we're talking about like the ultra rich, the 1%, a lot of the time, you hear it all the time with like celebrities, would you date a regular 9-to-5er? And a lot of them say no, because they say my schedule is crazy. One day I could be off for like 3 months, or I could be working strenuous hours and whatnot. I need somebody who's flexible, right? And say for a man who's ultra successful, to be ultra successful and great at what you do, you have to sacrifice a lot of things. So there's not going to be a lot of time for the both of you. So whatever time that there is, he's not going to want to not be able to hang out with you because he's finally free and you're at work. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So he's going to want you home. Right? So yeah, it's nice that you have your own things, and it's probably, it would be refreshing when you meet somebody to know that, they had their own thing going on. Yeah. But if they drop it and put it down, he ain't gonna be mad. He's gonna probably encourage it.
I just feel like it's important for women to have their own, maybe not be much or as much as the male, but to come in with something that you could claim and say that's your own. Because say if said relationship doesn't work out, then the person that you were fully dependent on, that's no longer accessible to you. So you have to survive on your own. So I think like women who feel like, oh, I'm just going to wait for this person to come and carry me, I'm his dependent, blah, 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 blah. No, you can't think like that. You have to come in with your own thing. You have to, because if things don't work out, you're on your own and nobody's going to be there to help you. So that's how I feel about that.
The problem with that clip is that when Natalie Nunn says something like that, it echoes and it has a life of its own, and it lives longer than, say, a normal person saying something sensible. So her speaking, she's not necessarily speaking and representing the vast majority of women, but a lot of men are going to look at that and assume that, this is what this generation of women are like and what they want, and it's really painting you guys in a bad light.
Because believe it or not, she has a voice, obviously.
Mm-hmm. She wouldn't have been on Funky Friday.
Yeah, she was booked on this podcast. She has a voice, right? So when you are this figure and this public figure that people know, they're gonna listen to what you got to say, and a lot of people are gonna link you to a whole group of people, a whole gender. It looks like right now. So you have to. I don't know. She wasn't prepared. They're gonna say, "Oh, who's training her?" Because media trained, like you have to be media trained.
She don't seem like she's media trained. She seemed like she's
been in the business for a while.
She seemed like she's just trying to be authentic, right?
She's been in the business for a while, to the point where I think she put out a clip and she was kind of upset with Cam.
Because she felt like Cam didn't represent her well, but I'm like, he tried to get substance out of you.
Yeah.
And even when she brought up like motherhood, when she finally came to the point where she was like, we bring motherhood with good mothers, and then he said expound on that, and she goes, well, my daughter, she wanted to swim, so I got her $1 million swimming pool. So it all comes. You didn't have to say how much you paid for the swimming pool.
Just say you got her a swimming
you got
pool,
her a little swimming pool in the backyard or whatnot. Mm-hmm. But she had to mention the money. It all comes back to money.
Yeah, because like I told, anyway. And even people in the comments were like, "Oh, I guess Cam is not like the intellect level between her and Cam is way off." Like he's too intellectual for a conversation like this. So I have to watch the full podcast. I did look at that clip, and it was the full entire clip. There was nothing, to my knowledge, that was edited. So I did get the full grasp of everything she was saying. But yeah, it didn't look that great. So you had, we're gonna go into everybody's favorite actor now. The one that slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars.
Used to be everybody's favorite actor. This man is just, he's falling.
When he slapped him at the Oscars, like a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Like 2022. And
it seems like he finally starting to like repair that image and slowly dig his way out.
Boom, and then shakalaka.
Yeah, now he over here allegedly
getting slapped with a lawsuit,
harassing a violinist. I'm like, what the hell's going on, man?
Do you want to expound?
Well, I guess I'll read what was reported on the Shade Room. I also was reading a little bit on the LA Times to kind of get a little bit more information about it. But let's
William
read.
Smith.
His name is Willard Carroll Smith II.
It's Willard?
Willard Carroll Smith II.
What?
Yep. All right. So it's reported by the Shade Room a professional violinist is suing Will Smith and his company for sexual harassment, retaliation, and wrongful termination. As reported by People, Brian King Joseph filed a complaint on Tuesday in LA Superior Court against Smith and Trey Ball Studios Management, Inc. The lawsuit claims Smith was deliberately grooming and priming Mr. Joseph for further sexual exploitation after inviting him to join his global tour based on a true story 2025 in November 2024. According to the complaint, Joseph experienced a traumatic series of events in March 2025 while on tour. He alleges that he returned to his Las Vegas hotel room and discovered it had been entered without signs of forced entry. The lawsuit cites evidence of a sexual threat of violence, including a handwritten note that read, "Brian, I'll be back, just us," accompanied by a drawn heart and signed Stone F. Joseph also claims he found items left behind in the room, including wipes, a beer bottle, a red backpack, a bottle of HIV medication with another individual's name, an earring, and hospital discharge paperwork belonging to a person unbeknownst to him. The complaint states that Joseph feared that an unknown individual would soon return to his room to engage in sexual acts with him. As a result, Joseph alleges he suffered severe emotional distress, economic loss, reputational harm, and other damages, including PTSD and other mental illness as a result of the termination. So I was reading the LA Times, and they were saying that, because that really doesn't give an explanation as to why he was terminated. So when he had found those things in his hotel room in Las Vegas, right, he called the police and he made a complaint, and basically Will Smith's people had reached out to him and basically told him that, asked him, why would you make up this story? They felt it was made up, and
it sounds made up. I'm not gonna lie.
He was terminated ultimately for it. But in the Times article, it states that when Will Smith, because this guy Brian King Joseph, he was on America's Got Talent and finished third, right? And I guess because of that, that's when I guess that's how he got on Will Smith's radar, and Will Smith wanted him for his global tour, right? So hold
on, can I do like a really quick segue? Uh-huh. What is how? Anyway, no, I'll get to that at the end because I'm like a tour,
right? So Will Smith,
he got like 4 songs,
but he has a whole new album.
Didn't nobody know about that?
Came out March 28th.
Real
Will Smith fan.
Will Smith fan.
But you see, his tour is overseas, and he had a big following overseas in Europe and stuff like that. He had a big following.
Yeah.
So he invited him to perform at a show with him in San Diego, and then from that San Diego show was when he got invited to go on the global tour. And one of the stops in that tour was Las Vegas, and that's when everything happened in the hotel room, right? So, and then he ultimately got fired because of that, because his team felt that he made it up, and inquired as to why he would make it up, right? So, I don't see anything here that links to Will Smith.
Exactly.
But he stated originally, I guess when they were working together, Will Smith said to him that he felt like a magical connection with him, and that his connection with him was different than any other connection he had with anyone else or whatever.
He got that on tape?
But that's it. It's not like Tyler Perry where you got all these text messages and
there's no proof
and craziness. But here's the connecting tissue between this case and Tyler Perry's case. The lawyer involved in this case with this case involving Will Smith is also involved in the lawsuit against Tyler Perry. He's the lawyer filing suit in both of those cases. So I'm like, I don't know if he's a sexual harassment ambulance chaser, but that's what it appears, because the letter that was left is signed Stone F. Who the hell is that, right?
And a lot of these actors, they go by a lot of aliases when people don't want them to know their real identity. But
this is the first time anyone's hearing about Stone F, or at least me. I never heard that. Secondly, there's been some rumors about Will Smith possibly batting for the other team.
Yeah. For a while.
With him and Dwayne Martin, Tisha Campbell's husband or whatnot. Ex-husband, right? But outside of that, there hasn't been any sort of allegations like this, at least to my knowledge. Yeah. Any serious allegations that's come out like this. But Brian is claiming that there are other individuals who he knows has suffered similarly under Will Smith, and but they're afraid.
Is he opening Pandora's box?
But they're afraid to come forward. I don't know. We're gonna find out. But
That's insane.
I'm like, Will Smith can't catch a break.
Oh no! It's like year after year, some type of controversy.
It's self-inflicted with him, because nobody told you to go on Red Table Talk and talk your business, and ain't nobody told you to go ahead and slap Chris Rock in the face on national TV. You know what I'm saying? So you got to live with those decisions, right?
Poor Will.
But hopefully this isn't true.
I hope it's not true, because my image of Will Smith will forever be tarnished.
It's already
not
been
even
tarnished.
the slap. The slap is nothing. I could still watch Fresh Prince.
Because
but
Fresh Prince,
this is true,
I feel like Fresh Prince exists outside of everything that's happened, because it's such a beloved show, and we grew up with it as children.
You can still watch it, but are you going to still look at Willard Willard Smith the same way?
I mean, I don't really look at.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, I haven't seen the Fresh Prince in a while, but I saw a clip from the remake.
Where he kind of like with Peacock.
Yeah, where he kind of there's a scene at the end of, I don't know if it was a series finale or whatever.
I think because I think it's done.
But he's like speaking to himself.
Oh.
So it's like his future self is speaking to his younger self, and he's kind of like giving himself like advice. Yeah. And it was a very deep scene, and I thought that was cool. And when I was watching it, I wasn't really thinking about, you know, all his mess ups. Yeah. You know, but it's like stuff like this brings you right back. Yeah. And he's trying to distance himself as far away from everything that's happened.
The sexual assault allegations is something serious.
Mm-hmm. But his lawyer denies it vehemently. It says that it's reckless and that they're gonna fight it. So I mean, of course you're gonna fight it, but still, like this is the thing in the age that we live in now. Everybody, it's the court of public opinion. Yeah. And people already have, you know, certain thoughts about Will Smith, right? So this is either gonna freaking bolster those thoughts, or you're gonna just vehemently be like, this is BS, right?
What's going on to all these Black beloved people that we held in such a high regard?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's just like it's crumbling down one by one by one by one. The year just started, and also already you seeing stuff like this. Like, geez Louise.
Yeah, he can't catch a break, man.
He can't catch a break at all.
But you know, you can't help but think about everything else that's happened, and you know, I'm like, maybe that's why Jada went and slept
maybe he's a beta.
Maybe that's why Jada went and slept with Alcina.
But you see what Alcina is now?
Yeah.
I guess she got a thing.
I don't know. Because she always said that her mother kind of forced her to marry Will.
Oh, really? She said that?
She said she didn't really want to marry him, but
she wanted Tupac. That's who she wanted for real.
Her mother was like, "You better go ahead and marry that man."
Because he's something. Mm-hmm. He's something. Wow. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
she's crazy.
That whole family is just, that whole family sometimes weird. Gives me weird vibes. It's like your typical Hollywood family. It's just weird.
But they say, I've heard it said, you know, you stay in Hollywood long enough,
you're going to become a weirdo.
It'll change you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to kind of get in, get out.
Yeah, I think I had told you this once before when I went to Los Angeles, specifically the Hollywood area. Nice, beautiful day, but it just felt weird.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happened in that city.
Yeah, and then we were on a tour, like we were doing like those little tours around on, I think it was Sunset Boulevard, that main street. Mm-hmm. And the tour guy was like, "Oh, and this is where so-and-so had an overdose. And this is where so-and-so had an overdose." And this is where that actor, he collapsed out of the club and he just fell on the ground and died.
And this is where Lil Nas X is walking down the boulevard.
Exactly. Exactly my point.
I never figured that was hilarious.
And where's Lil Nas X now? He probably got a case because of that.
And it's crazy because when he started, he looked like a normal dude. Like
yeah, exactly.
Old Town Road song.
Yeah. And
then all of a sudden he just went like crazy.
He went bonkers.
And he had the
devil worship and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like the industry, something about that industry just changes you. That's why there's always these conspiracy theories saying that there's the Illuminati and all that. Like, you never know.
I don't know. People
we're not gonna dive into that.
People like to talk about shit that they have no idea about, you know. I guess they just fall in love with the conspiracy theory, but I don't know. That
place just gave me weird vibes. I couldn't wait to leave. I'm like, let's go back to Vegas. Let's just go back because I don't know. So that was another episode of Random Conversations. I'm Danielle,
and I'm Noel,
and you can
like, subscribe, follow us on social media platforms. We're on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. If you like what we're putting out, please leave a comment. And if you want us to cover certain topics, put it in the comment section as well, and we'll cover them.
Okay, so we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.